conversation for months. Okay? So values have changed. Values have shifted. Where it used to be words like frugality, saving, paying off your debts, slow but sure build up in assets and values, and looking towards the future, to one of us baby boomer generation that's, hey, we're here, let's buy it now. I remember my mother saying to me, Taylor, you're a classic baby boomer. I said, why is that, Mom? She said, the first two words out of your mouth were some and more. Our culture, the baby boomer culture, is one of the wealthiest cultures or group of people that have ever been in the history of mankind. Look what we have access to. Look at all the technology. Look at all the health care. Look at all the products. Look at all the services. Look at all the things that we can get. And you know what we did? We went out and got them. It was a matter of I want it, not need it. There is a fundamental difference in those two philosophies. Do I need something or do I want something? And we have built, indeed, a culture of I want it. Indeed, in the Middle Ages, there was a land, a mystical land, called the land of Coquinge. And it was a place where everything showered from heaven, food and water and protection, all of those wonderful things. We have been living in that land. But we've been living in that land because we have an environment of free money. Does anybody remember their first credit card? Does anybody remember their second credit card? Their fourth credit card? Indeed, Canadians today carry at least 4 credit cards. How many people pay off their balance every month? Anybody want to guess? Guess. Out of 100, how many people pay it off? 10? 10%? 25%? Okay, guess what? It's 42%. Okay, pay it off every month. That's pretty good. But that means that there's a lot of people there that are living on credit. And there is a behavior. There is a behavior that I call, as I said, acute debt disorder. So we have truly today not a credit crisis, but a credit problem that is going to be part and parcel of future generations that we are going to bequeath to them. We currently have $70 billion on credit card balances. We have over $1.3 trillion in mortgage debt. On Visa alone, we have more debt than the whole gross national product of the Ukraine. This is a huge issue. We have also been huge consumers, massive consumers of product and services based upon this credit, easy credit access. And we have just seen what's happened recently in the credit market. When credit dries up, what happens? Everything comes to a shuddering stop. That's what happens. The issues that are going to confront us are going to be about how we are going to develop, how we are going to manage, and how we are going to advance what I think is one of the most critical things for the sustenance, the sustainability, the health, and the welfare of Canadians. And that is financial literacy. Remember that term, financial literacy, because it is indeed one of the greatest challenges that we have as a community that is going to have hugely terrible, detrimental effects upon how we look upon ourselves as we move into the future. And the challenges that we are going to be confronting are immense around the issues that are brought up by people who are not financially literate. So what is financial literacy? Financial literacy basically is the lack of knowledge and the skills to manage financial resources. Many people have that issue. As a matter of fact, millions of Canadians have that issue. Financial discussions are sort of like sex education discussions. Remember that first time you saw that tape in high school? You know, with the phys ed teacher saying, okay, boys and girls, this is how it works, and they leave the room. Right? And there's some zebras doing something. You're not quite sure what it is. Okay? Or that just, but you know, when you're talking about finances is sort of like a third rail for people. It's something very private. They don't like talking about their finances. They don't like engaging. And as a matter of fact, there is a phobia around financial discussions, about engaging in finances. What do you get people saying? Oh, geez, well, I'll wait to plan later, or I'll look at that later, or and you look at my brother, for instance, runs a small business. He is a financial illiterate like you wouldn't believe. I walk into his office, and I just see piles and piles of bills, and I say, Hall, what are you doing about this? Oh, I have an accountant that looks after it. When was the last time he was in? 6 months ago. His financial illiteracy is destroying his business and is destroying his family's future. Let's look at what a financial illiterate, the diagnosis of a financial illiterate is. They live on more than they make. They have excessive, frivolous spending. They have never-ending payments. They live on borrowed money. They buy a new car, treating their home like a piggy bank, living paycheck to paycheck, borrowing from their RSP, and not having an emergency fund. How many people do you know are like that? There are tons. There are tons and tons of people like that. And to have that financial illiteracy, that lack of knowledge, that inability to plan and to manage their financial resources puts them into financial serfdom. They are disenfranchised. And one of the most powerful ways a person can be disenfranchised because they do not have the freedom, they do not have the choice to do those things that they need to do to secure their futures, their family's futures, their children's futures, and the future of the society that they belong to. The challenge that we face is to move people from illiteracy to literacy. If you look at the public school system in most provinces, I think it's in almost all provinces,